23rd, 2026. After stirring me up the way they usually do, they are placing cameras on me, leaving aside the repeated actions over and over again, which led to that moment of me throwing something in the street like a piece of paper, or opening up my mouth and give them change as they throw words at me, even when I'm out in the street, to stir me up. Because I am, by default, a kind man with a good heart, not like them, which have played with my life in one of the sickest ways possible. Let me tell you something. I don't believe in this voodoo religious shit. I believe in the fact that in the old times there were good witches and bad witches. But let's stick to the second category of witches, bad witches. Because, um, I like to believe that by default everybody's born into this world being good. They are only they are only taught to be bad. But as I'm sickened by the Romanian fairy tales, like Reuceanu and other stuff, where they present two items, like the good person and the bad person. That would be by default. And and this is how they learn stuff, But nobody teaches them because most of them are not capable of such thing. What was before this whole who's good and who's bad? Hmm? Why this so-called bad person, or how they are placing on in the churches? That would be a god and the devil is mean. Nobody asks themselves why would the bad person is bad? Is something led has something led that entity to being bad? Yes. Guess what? The ones, mark my words, the ones that are being called good, that are appearing to be good. And what you heard is apartment 12 or 13 banging their door. They do that always. The bad person being bad, usually I like to believe they were good. You can notice things. I remember going to a second day of Christmas to Korlatesh Church with my two cousins from here. And the priest, this mixture with religion, God and devil, archangels, demons. It's kind of all true, leaving aside the two parts, because you have no idea how evil acts. When there are no cameras, they are kidding you, or they're making sure you will appear just like them. Parallel talking. You will appear bad, though you're good, and they will appear good, though they're bad. And the priest there at Koloteshtia church was saying that forgive yourselves. I don't know, something like that. He was preaching about forgiveness. Shit. Excuse my foul language. And I noticed the women which were selling candles at the entrance of the church, saying to one of her around their neighborhood village, saying to an acquaintance of her, "Please forgive me for I don't know. I was just standing there. I was just noticing stuff, observing." And that woman, which was being asked for forgiveness, didn't even take a look at the woman which was selling candles at the entrance of the church, asking for forgiveness. Apparently, what can you think? Oh, look, she didn't forgive her or something. No, 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 no. Do you have been in that woman's place to know, to see, to feel how that person asking for forgiveness did her over and over and over again? That she didn't deserve at least a look? Mm. Other than that, today they got platforms of online games. Excuse me, I'm in my underwear. I was just about to brush my teeth, throw some water over my face, and get up. Because apparently, where everybody knows them, like Perla Rodica, Constantin Matei, Marian Hagiu, I can give you all sorts of names. Popa Mihai from 27th apartment, Ionuț Dinica from 29th apartment, Pascal Ruminița from the 15th apartment. Oh, now that I got to that, in the winter's time, while I was taking down the snow from my mother's car, another one which has been sold, Pascal Luminița, while heading straight for the staircase, let's film because this is good angles. And my mother's car was around there, on that side, where PH39 Mio, car of Porla Rodica, which is the other one. Okay, that would be the gray B from Bucharest, 621 MAT from Matei, that would be Mihai, the ex-football player, actual police officer. My car's, my mother's car was the second one, like that blue one, yeah, dark blue. And I was giving the snow out of my mother's car. And Pascal Luminița is getting out of the building. Her husband was alive at the time. I even remember him. And while she's walking inside the building, and I was having some brushes right here in this corner, while she's coming to the entrance of the buildings, she does this the stuff with the help of which they took my dignity in 2012, the deliberate cough. And then she turns at me and asks me, "Can I borrow this brush to take down my the snow from my husband's car?" And I said no. I said no. And she even said, "But why?" I just said no. And that's that. These people are eating me alive. And trust me, because I am not going to report these stolen of that anti theft court, nor either this. memory stick. I'm not, as they are using as a strong suggestion to their case, an evidence to a psychiatry where I never belonged, actually. I can't believe how stupid I was for so many years. A matrix infiltrated to keep you on some kind of a leash. Why don't you keep criminals on the leash? The real criminals? More than that. In a certain year, they instituted family doctors, the ones that you go to be prescribed something like your head hurts or you have a flu and so on and so forth. Another way of and another matrix of Romania controlling shit. Just like nowadays, this neighborhood belongs to a certain police section. You know, only when I see some young fellas like around 25, 30 years old, or a little past 20, some of them could be my sons as a matter of age, me being 46. Some of them have nothing related to what it takes to deal with a human, to cool it down. Hey, you're dealing with the law. You're not making abuse blue um, of a blue suit just because you're police or gendarme, you know, like I would be, as I've always been, understanding in nature. But for what these people did to me, especially in the last 3 years, I'm sorry. I'm not going to excuse myself. When I see them killing each other, because that's the way they have done me, and still, over the last 14 years, taking us back to 2012, when I entertained their children in the classroom and taking them out of the ordinary with my creative mind and a mind of a musician, a poet. I have four poems, quite genius, I would say. And they are, if I do say so myself. In the Romanian language, while I was being drugged and I was working myself up to their schools in this PH county from Monday to Friday, Varnica, Hăbud, Tăriceni, Tinosu, and Poenari Borchi. And while I have to take the bus down to the south train station, and from there, some cabs these big cabs, they are taking you to a certain village, and then walking on foot to get to schools daily, while they are working me to realities, other realities by them created, not by me. Hmm. Do you hear that? Good. Do you know, last night, and I shall end this. Last night, I woke up around 4 a.m. I smoked a cigarette, went to the toilet, and there were cars, or just one car, doing exactly this, circling around. Have a nice day.